Hey guys, the Commander Casual here. I'm playing my Ravos, Soultender, and Kraum Ludevic's Opus 4-color zombies deck. We're gonna put that on the bottom for now. Um, Obviously, there's a ton of zombie tribal cards out there. This deck, for those that haven't seen the deck tech or my previous deck videos, it's a deck that I'm running a bunch of cards that I really like to play, rather than what you might consider like an optimal build for the tribe. uh, and it's just because it's Commander, and it's my deck, so I'm gonna play the cards that I want to. So we're playing against an Atraxa Praetor's Voice deck. So this could be Infect. I have an Exalted deck based around Atraxa. It could be just general counter value. It could be +1/+1 counters. We'll have to see. Phenax got a Deception, which is just about always like a big toughness kind of creature mill deck, Dimir mill deck. So we'll see what we can get out of this guy. I enjoy people that go for a mill strategy just because it's a little bit more outside the norm. It's kind of more difficult to pull off as well, I think. So we'll see what this deck has in store for us. And we're just playing against an Erebos God of the Dead deck. And I'm thinking this is probably just going to be like black value, mono black value stuff. But again, we'll have to wait and see. So those are our decks we're playing against. The 4-color wedge missing red, and then a Dimir deck, and then blacks. There's a lot of black in this game because we're also playing a very heavy black deck. I think I'm just gonna do this and go get a mountain for now. We drew a Grimgrin. Grab our single mountain. We have one of each basic in here, just to fetch up with our Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expands, or possibly play if we draw it. Or sorry, one of that. We've got one mountain, one island, one plains. I shouldn't say each basic, because there's no forests and there's a ton of swamps. So, because the zombie tribe is very heavily in black, the deck is mostly black. But I wanted to open it up to 4 colors, because usually zombie decks are just like Dimir colored, or they're Grixis colored, and they add the blue-red. But I wanted to add the white, because we've got a couple. Ravos is just a really cool commander for any tribal deck. He's really good for adding to another card to make tribal decks, because he's a lord in himself, and he buffs all creatures, and then you can get creatures back from your graveyard, and tribal decks tend to be pretty heavy on creatures, so it's nice to get them back. And then Kraum's just a hasty beater in the air that draws us extra cards, so it's hard to say no to that. This guy played a Thrumming Bird. So again, we know it's some kind of counter deck, but we're not really sure what kind yet, because this is pretty common in just about any Atraxa deck. It could just be like the Precon deck that Atraxa came out with, which will just be like general counter value, but it could have a specific theme as well. And this is the Phenax deck. Did he play anything? No, he just tapped out. And this is the Erebos deck. So he'll have his commander next turn probably, and then he can draw extra cards and none of us can gain life. That's pretty much what Erebos does. And Erebos will probably just sit on the battlefield the whole time. Because the Theros gods are really hard to remove. Read the bones, scry 2 and draw 2. Didn't he use like a Sign in Blood before that too? Yeah, he did. So he's just drawing lots of cards and paying lots of life. Maybe he's doing some goofy commander version of the Death Shadow deck. I really doubt it. But you never know. Could just flashback here, but that doesn't seem worth it at all. Just a mere Signet. Yeah, we'll yield the rest of the turn. Make it look like we have something up, but not actually. And next turn we can play Kraum. I think we might do that. Try and score some extra card draw. There's no real point in playing Grimgrin unless we have something to kind of combo with it well. And I guess an Ethamancer would deal 4 damage to this guy, but we'd probably rather save him as well. And Ravos is good, but we don't have anything in our graveyard yet. So, not any creatures at least. So, he's kind of lost. Narset. Okay, so maybe he's playing... Oh yeah, the other deck archetype, major deck archetype that I didn't mention is Planeswalkers. So he could be doing the Planeswalker deck. Although if he's running a Township, I think he's probably just doing like a general counter value deck. But he could just be running the Township to buff up tokens and the occasional dude, like the Thrumming Bird. That's scary. We gotta get something beaten in on this quick. Because he'll get one here and he'll attack, proliferate. It'll go up to 8. And then it's, if next turn, the turn after that, if nothing deals damage to it, he could attack, proliferate it, and then use our -9, which is your opponents can't cast non-creature spells. It's pretty oppressive. So I was playing a Super Friends deck, against a Super Friends deck, sorry, that managed to get her -9 ability off. And I think I was playing one of my Storm decks, and it was like, well, I'm out of this game. There's literally nothing I can do. Come on. I guess we're ramping, kind of. Yes, he's going to proliferate these two here. Or not. He might as well have proliferated his Vivid Creek, but whatever. Yeah, so we'll play, especially because his blocker's down. We'll play Kraum next turn and punch Narset in her face. Lazav. He's not a mill card, but he functions well with mill. The Dimir Mastermind. That perfect mana, though. That's unsatisfying that the blue symbols are on the left, but his islands are on the right, and vice versa with the swabs. Look much more aesthetically pleasing if those were switched, in my opinion at least. I'm seeing so many people playing the Hour of Devastation full art lands. Got the Zendikar ones. I like those better. Thoughtseize. Really? He's playing a ton of cards to deal him 2 damage, or deal like he loses 2 life. I don't know if that's like the theme. Discarded the Dark Deal on the Read the Bones too. Is that like the theme of his deck, or just happen to be... I mean, he's playing mono black. There's a lot of mono black cards that make you take 2 life to do stuff. Wow, that's a brittle hand. Brutal. He doesn't even have anything to mill with. I guess he can play Phenax next turn. Nice. Swabs. Ha! Salted. I mean, it'll have lots of land plays. So that's good, I guess. I don't know. Thoughtseize is just not that good a card to running Commander. But discarded Junk Trawler. So we're just gonna play Kraum here. Go Kraum. Hopefully get some extra card draw off of him as well, but we're gonna punch this Narset in her face because I'm terrified of that alt resolving again. And by again, I just mean that other time I experienced it was not ideal. Attack Nasty Narset. Get her. Get her. Got her. She's far from dead, but she's temporarily dealt with, I should say. And hopefully we can draw some extra cards. Maybe we'll play Fleshbag Marauder next turn. play Flashback Marauder and a Nethomancer. And ping this guy for even more damage, because he's playing like 0 basics, so we can like deal a straight 5 to his face. Or we could probably ping Narset with that, I think. But it'll be at 6, so pinging it for 5 doesn't seem worth it. Because we'd have to attack it as well to destroy it, unless he leaves this up to try and save it. No, he's just gonna attack. Yeah, we take 1, and you get to proliferate. Yeah, I'm liking the idea of Flashback Marauder and an Nethomancer next turn. We can sack the Marauder, then play Ravos the following turn and start recurring it. Get some Grim Grain action going, maybe as well. Phenax. Yep. Yep. We called it. I knew it. Now this guy can mill somebody for 3. Another thing about this zombie deck relative to a bunch of other zombie decks is it does have a bit of graveyard recursion, but not very much. So it doesn't have a lot of self-mill theme to it, which I know a lot of zombie decks typically do. The RNG machine, I heard, like Swamp Spirit. He probably drew another one or something goofy like that. I don't know, maybe he's running a weird amount of lands in his deck. Hopefully not for his sake, but what was I saying? Oh, anyway, yeah, there's not a ton of self-mill and like too much use of the graveyard here. We've got Ravos to recur stuff from our graveyard is the main use, and then we've got a couple things that use the graveyard, but not a whole lot of it. We've got a couple self-mill things, like we've got Faithless Looting and Ancient Excavation and stuff like that, but that's more just a setup if we're gonna like dump what is it, Zombie Apocalypse or something like that. Although there is a really cool combo in this deck, which is Gem Palm Polluter and Ravos. So Gem Palm Polluter is I think it's from Onslaught. There's like a cycle of tribal cyclers. So there's one for each color. The green one's an elf, the red one's an goblin, or sorry, a goblin. Black one is a zombie. The white one, I think, is probably like a soldier. I don't remember what the blue one is. Probably a wizard. Yeah, it's a wizard. And yeah, when you cycle them, they all have like an effect. And so the Gem Palm Polluter, they're all called Gem Palm something. Gem Palm Polluter, which is the zombie one. You cycle it for double black. The worst. No one's even attacking you. No, it's harder to deal with our set. You dingus. What a dingus! Like, seriously, why would you Toxic Deluge? I get that he's getting, like, worried, but that seems like a huge waste of Toxic Deluge. No one's touching him. Like, the only reason he has this much life... Oh, it's because he wanted to reanimate something. Let's go for Lizov. I guess that's why. He just wanted to play a thing. Still, though, that didn't seem worth it to me, but whatever. Do I still flashbang in a Nethomancer? Because we can blast Narset with a Nethomancer now. I don't feel bad about doing that. What's he do? Whenever a creature cards put in opponent's graveyard, you may have copy of it. Yeah, I don't... The fact that this guy wanted this card makes me a little uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna flash him. Flashbag Marauder him, I mean. No, don't tap that. I need that. I just wanted Lizov. Oh, now no one gets it. Don't. Are you gonna counter this? There's no way. Really? 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 I am blown away. Blown. I can't spell. Did I seriously type a D there? What's wrong with me? Those aren't even next to each other on the keyboard. Copy the flashbag. I guess it just really wanted to proliferate in our set. Oh, we're still gonna blast her for damage. If it lets me do this. I think it'll let me redirect the damage to Narset. It just really wants to resolve Narset, I guess. Give me the option to redirect. Do it. Do it. Yes! I do! Boom. Take 5. Jingus. I felt like I was probably saying something before I started talking about the deluge because I was just baffled by that. But I don't remember what it is, so that's that. I've been thinking about trying to, based on a comment on one of my videos, sorry, I can't remember who the person was at this time, but it was on a more recent video of mine. I think it was one of my Maelstrom Wonder videos. Anyway, they were suggesting that I try and do an Infect deck. And I've mentioned previously that I'm pretty shy to doing Infect just because I really don't like playing against it in Commander, but I'm currently mulling with an idea to try and make it, I guess, more palatable to myself, or just or try. I also just haven't really ever played Infect in Commander before. I played it against it like once or twice, like a Skitherix deck and stuff like that, and I wasn't really a fan just on the face of it, but I think I should give it a fair shot before I kind of denounce it. I don't know, maybe I'll really enjoy playing it, and then I'll just become that person who plays Infected Commander. The thing that is kind of redeeming about it is that, like, there's a couple really good Infect cards, but the majority of Infect cards are, like, really expensive for, and by expensive I mean, like, high mana cost. I don't mean that they actually cost a lot. They're really high mana cost for the actual card, like the stats on the card. So there's lots of like 2/3s and 2/2s and stuff like that for like 4 or for 3, which is pretty not value engine-esque. So this guy's played Nebraska as well. Can destroy a non-land permanent. Can make it so. I think he did. Yeah. Until your next turn, whenever a creature deals combat damage to Nebraska, destroy that creature. And then they can make assassins that make people lose the game or something. Interesting card. Bummer. But yeah, I don't know if I want to spoil the. Actually, I guess there's 2 different ways I thought about doing the deck. So I guess I'll just tell you, tell you guys, because I'll figure out which one I want to do, if not both of them. One way is to incorporate it into like a Vial Smasher style deck by adding Pheresis, and I think there's another like enchantment aura, Phyrexian Oil, maybe, and maybe another card that give a creature Infect. Oh, Tainted Strike does it as well, but that's just for a turn. Anyway, the idea would be to use one of those, or ideally Phyresis, and put it on Vial Smasher, and then exploit Vial Smasher's triggered ability with a bunch of X spells, which is, I think I'm just going to build an X spell deck anyway, and I'll probably run Phyresis in there to try and get that interesting win, because I'm pretty sure Infect works like Lifelink or, actually I think just Lifelink is what I'm thinking of, or Death Touch as well, which is it's any damage the creature deals, you get the, like that keyword effect, so it's not based on, sorry, I'm blanking with my words really hard. It's not based on combat damage, is what I mean to say. So like Vial Smasher triggered ability will deal, because he deals the damage. It's not that an opponent loses life. Like it's Vial Smasher deals damage equal to the converted mana cost, the first spell you cast each turn. So you'll be doing Infect damage to people as if he has Infect. So you'd need Phyresis or Phyrexian Oil or Tainted Strike or whatever the other card's called, to give him. I don't think Tainted Strike would work then because it would be the first spell you cast that turn because it only lasts for a turn. Okay, so I draw an extra card and discard a card. We can deal with that. Yeah, we're just gonna pitch the Exotic Orchard. I want High Swamps in case I get my Cabal Coffers or what's his face? The dude that's powered. He's a zombie warrior that's power toughness reach equal number of swamps I control. What's his face? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I could replay Kraum and punch Narset, which I think I'm cool with. Yeah, I think we just do that. Try and draw some more cards as well. Oh, I need to do the Dimir Signet thing first. Anyway, yeah, so that's the first idea for the Infect deck, would just be to run... It's like, do it like a Vial Smasher deck, but have Phyresis and then try and win by either casting like a bunch of little spells. Like I could easily add it to my Vial Smasher Traps deck, which I think I might. Or I can try adding it to this new X-Spell deck, because I think I'm going to do that as well. Yeah, we're going to attack that guy. And then, yeah, sorry, the other way to do it, I was thinking I'd do like a Silas Wren, Jimura, or Sidar Kondo, Lord of Jimura, Knight of Jimura, whatever his name is. Because he gives creatures power 2 or less, or they can't be blocked by creatures without flying. Anyway, so most in creatures with Infect have power 2 or less, and a lot of them fit into those colors if I were to run Silas Wren and Sidar Kondo. So I could run the 2 of them, and then, I mean, the Silas Wren's more just to open up the colors, but you could probably try and, or I could probably try and run some artifact synergies off that. Just with little egg-like artifacts and stuff like that. But yeah, and then you just run a bunch of the standard Infect creatures, because you could just get in for cheap or for free with them. Or sorry, not for cheap or for free. I'm just having a rough time talking. You can get in with them a lot easier with Sidar out. So those are kind of my 2 hypotheses for running Infect, because I don't want to run a Skithiryx deck. The person who made the comments said that they had a Mimeoplasm Infect deck, and that it was actually a lot more fair than people would assume, and that his play group or whatever was a lot more accepting of it. And I do kind of agree with that. I think the only time that it would be really disgusting is if you if you copied Skithiryx and then buffed him, because Skithiryx is just a really disgusting card on his own. But again, the rest of the Infect cards are pretty not great, so I don't think it'd be that overpowered if you did it on Skithiryx. So, or sorry, it wouldn't be that overpowered if you did anything but Skithiryx. Skithiryx is the one thing that is really overpowered. Again, I'm totally just mismatching my words. I had an exam today, and I have an exam tomorrow, so I've been under a lot of mental-ness, intensity. So please don't blame me for my mental failings and misplays, which are bound to happen. So next turn we could Cemetery Reaper and Ravos. Cool with that. Because then our Nethomancer and our Kraum hit like trucks. Hit a lot harder, I should say. We could attack Vraska with a Nethomancer. They have Death Touch as well. No, the Assassin dudes. See, I'm just worried about the little... I don't want Vraska's ult to resolve, but these guys are not being helpful in that regard. So this guy actually almost let the Narset resolve because of his Toxic Deluge. So but we've got the Kromster. Okay, Daddy. Okay, so he played that. This guy just had that Birtle hand anyway. He's just drawing rocks and stuff anyway, so he's got 0 playables. He's just got his Phenax out with it, which only has the 2 devotion from Phenax, so. this guy stole his Lazov and made him discard whatever his junk trawler or whatever. Let's see if this guy goes full greed and greeds himself to death. Well, he's greeding. The only thing I'd be worried about running Erebos is greeting yourself to death eventually. It's likely to happen, or at least like contribute to your death, whether you realize it or not. So I'm sure that guy's running tons of like exsanguinate style effects, because I know there's a couple of them. There's one of them that you can only tap the X in it for black mana, so it's only really valuable in mono black decks. So I'm sure he's running that, and then I would be very surprised if he wasn't running exsanguinate. I like that the anvil of Bogarden is probably, I don't know if they intend this, but it kind of just looks like a deer anvil. These look like little antlers to me. It's probably supposed to be something specific or weird or whatever, but all I just see is like a, because the anvil's even shaped kind of like a deer's head. That's all I see. Discard a card. Oh no. Tough choice. We could play both of our lords. Nah, we'll play our Ravos, because he's gets us other stuff. Alright. We cast Ravos. Then we can start getting stuff back. I think we throw the Anathemancer at the Vraska if he wants to trade. I'm not too worried about the little assassin dudes. They don't have haste, so. Is he sad facing? Oh, because this means that. Can you not? Trying to get rid of planeswalkers. And you guys are impeding me. He's just like, it's just like, there's a spell. That's so frustrating. It was the same thing with like this guy doing the Toxic Deluge. Essentially, it's just like, I want to play Toxic Deluge. I want to play Psychic Spiral or whatever, Psychic Strike. I don't know. I guess I am kind of threatening, but from a graveyard, yeah. Okay, I'll see. Oh, look, Gem Pomp Polluter. Yeah, so we'll grab the Reaper. I can hear you. I don't know. I think the Vraska's board state looks scarier than mine, but. Or sorry, not the Vraska's. The Atraxa's board state. Oh, this sucks. Do I have to throw Kraum at this now? The idea was that I could attack with an Anathemancer and actually force him to trade with Atraxa or do the damage, because I didn't want to attack with Kraum. I didn't want to attack Atraxa, or this player with Kraum. So I think I'm just going to attack this guy instead. What are you doing? If you Doomblade, I swear to some god. Dingus. Do we want to just be spiteful? I really do. I'm going to hold back the Anathemancer. Feel my spite. Rah. That's what you get for counterspelling Ravos, you jerk. He could have held that for this Atraxa player to play something too. Just like, yeah, there's a spell. Got him. Is this Erebos player just gonna bleed himself twice more as well? I don't get it. I've luck with my mana. And it doesn't have flying. Dingus. In case you guys couldn't tell, dingus is my like word of the week. Absolutely love it. It's just fun to say, and it's pretty harmless. So next turn we could Lord and Grey Merchant. Slurp up a lot of life and damage. Be cool with that. Because if we played Lord and Grey Merchant, we have 3 devotion currently, and then we'd have another 4. So it'd be 7 to each person, and we'd gain 21 life. Or never mind, we wouldn't because of Erebos. So we'd just deal 7 to everyone, which I'm still okay with. This is the card I was talking about that combos with Ravos. Make people lose life equals the number of zombies you control. And then you can just keep getting it back every upkeep with Ravos, and then just cycle it again. So you still get to draw another card off the cycle. It costs 2 mana. And if you have a board full of tokens or something like that, you can be dealing tons of damage to people. Alright, can I play a card just to trigger you in good fun? You're going to do it anyways. Both. I don't think either of... Oh look! The Atraxa deck is going off. Sure wish I could have slowed it down. Yeah, see, like, this is just... the Atraxa superfriends deck is actually really strong, especially with cards like Ugin. This guy could -5 Ugin right now and wipe our boards entirely. Because it exiles, right? Yeah. Is he gonna do something stupid here? Yeah, that's... Because I don't, like... I guess that's funny to him, but, like, we're just gonna lose. So... You wanna lose. Like, why not destroy the Atraxa? Just spitball in here. Because he can, yeah, next turn he can ultimate Ugin if he wants to. Because he'll get the proliferate trigger off of Atraxa. Nah, we still got this. Yeah, I hope we do. But I don't really have faith in either of you. No offense, but you guys haven't exactly been useful yet. I have 0 faith in you guys. I mean that legitimately. I'm not even trying to joke around with them anymore. I'm just like, nope. we're just gonna lose. I think this guy with the Ugin probably should have just put his foot on the throat, I guess, and -5'd on the Ugin, because he would have kept Ugin and wiped all our boards. Because he would have gotten rid of Phenax, the Talisman, Anvil, Erebos, Zav, the Animate Dead, my guy, and the Signet. And Kraum at the time. So. Yeah, no, he's got a bunch of duders. Yeah, so we I guess with the 3 of us just lose now because of these guys countering me, because I'm the only one who's been trying to do anything to stop. Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm so salty right now. Like, I'm sure that somebody who's watching this is laughing right now, but like, does this irritate anyone else? Please comment if you just think this is funny, or if you think it's annoying. Like, I'm obviously trying to be a good sport about this, but it's irritating. I mean, yeah, I lashed back at that one guy out of spite, but so I guess you could say I'm part of the problem, but that's after I been deluged and had my shit countered for not a specific reason, because I hadn't set my sights on either of those guys yet. So, what are you copying? Like, I don't. What's good to be copying? This guy doesn't have anything. He said, or did he did he cast Cyclonic Rift? When did that happen? Discards it. Yeah, like, that's how confident this jerk is in winning. He discarded his Cyclonic Rift on the Anvil trigger. So, yeah. What's he copying? Nothing there. Or like a polluter? Did he just play that and not look at anybody's graveyards? Or is he just gonna flashback Marauder here to be more of a dingus? And he just conceded. Yeah, so like we just super lose now. GG. I guess. Thanks for contributing. Yeah, this has just been just all kinds of frustration. I just conceded, just quit. Is this funny to you or just sad? Feels just sad to me. All I can taste is salt. And my internet is acting up apparently. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. My internet's acting up, so Nerp. Is this guy he's just applying salt to my wounds then? Is that what's happening now? Not that. Next spell. Yeah, okay, I'm still waiting. But, like, what though? It's a cool card though. So I can get. None of this is good though. I can get the Anathemancer and blast something for some damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can hit something for 8. Hit either his face or one of the planeswalkers. That's what I mean by something. I can't use it to just remove creatures. So what? I get an Anathemancer, a Fleshbag Marauder, and a, I don't know, like Lord or something. I don't even know if I want to get a Fleshbag Marauder. Anathemancer for sure. Because the Fleshbag Marauder, if I play it and I have to sack it, I have 2 dudes. He can sack Atraxa, attack me with all 3 of his assassins, and I die. So. Oh, this is such a no-win scenario. I can't. This is a lose life, right? I don't think I can redirect loss of life to planeswalkers. I am just gonna take the Gray Merchant and the Lord. None of this is good though. The Anathemancers, I guess I can blast something. It's just a game. We've all been on the receiving end of shit like this. Yeah. This guy seems at least somewhat sympathetic. I mean, yeah, it is just a game. You're right, but It makes me sad. I am sad. So very sad. It's just sad. Whole bunch of sad. See this? This was sad. The salt. So much salt. I'm salty. Oh, right, we get to Anvil of Begarden. We got Death Baron, which is kind of like a better Lord of the Undead, so I guess we'll pitch Lord. Acropolis. Anethomancer. I think I'm just gonna blast Ugin. I guess if I do that, he can kill me with Vraska, though. Oh, no, he can't, because it needs 3. I thought it was a 2 ability. Okay, so we'll blast. We'll choose Dr. Whiskers and redirect it to Ugin. And he's got no basics. Ugin? Yes. So Ugin takes 8. No, I don't want to redirect to Vraska. And then play Grey Merchant. Just 'cause I want to drain these guys for some damage. And he's another blocker. I don't gain the life, but whatever. And then I have to leave these guys back. Because I could die if I don't. You helped marginally, but not enough to make up for what you've already done. You wiener. I got you, dog. Yeah, now he's like, let's play buddies now. But if I have the opportunity to kill him without assuring my own doom, I will do that. Like this Dr. Whiskers guy can straight up kill this guy if he wants. Pretty easily. Just attack him with the 3 assassins and he's dead. Or even 2 of the assassins and he's dead. Oh, I guess we're still dead to Ugin, aren't we? Because he can just nuke a thing of mine and... Yep. Yep. I don't know what else I could have done there that would have changed anything. Yeah, the Fleshbag Runner wouldn't have changed anything. I think I probably made the best play there that I think I could have. I don't know. Comment if you thought I had a better play. Relative to that turn. You can always be like if I had the next draw I had would have benefited some other card, you could have been like, oh, you should have done that. Yeah, obviously I didn't know what I was going to draw next, and you do rewatching it. I'm salty. I'm sorry, audience. You didn't deserve that. Because now one of us loses here. And I feel like it's going to be me, because I'm the only one who's actually a threat. I don't know. Yep. Yeah, Vampiric Tutor for a thing. He's just weighing his options. Anyway, comment, I guess, if you want to see me do whichever style Infect deck. I'll probably end up doing both, honestly. The Vial Smasher one is less of like Infect as a main theme and more like going for the big X spells and trying to abuse like a massive converted mana cost trigger on Vial Smasher's ability. The Infect is just like another convenient way to utilize it. And I have that big X spell deck short of the Infect stuff in paper. I have a Thrasios Vial Smasher one. My current Thrasios Vial Smasher deck is a Traps deck, but I'll probably just do another one because they work really well for the big X spell theme as well. And it's super fun. You just run these gigantic goofy X spells and stuff like that, and then you kind of just build up your mana base until you have like these huge blowout turns. So it's really fun. Or at least I think it's really fun. And then yeah, the other infect deck would be the Silas Red, Sidar Kondo, kind of poke him for little bits. One, which I mean you'd still run Phyresis in because you'd still want to give Sidar or Silas Red infect, but please let me know which of those decks you'd prefer to see first, and I'll probably do that one first as my next deck. I'm also working on like a Akiri Silas Ren artifact shenanigans deck per another person's comment, but it's kind of boring honestly, and I've already done a bunch of Ultron decks, and that's kind of what it just is. So we'll see. Like I tried to do some interesting synergies and other like win cons other than just beating people's face in with Akiri, but it's a little boring. Yeah, he's got a Johnny and an Omnixilus now. Like we don't have a Planeswalker or a board wipe, we just have creature board wipes in here, so I don't see us winning this. Yeah, now we lose if this guy feels like it. Because he just ooged something of ours. What just happened? He used Ob's ability. The Phyrexian Arena style ability. I don't know if you guys know the story behind Omnixilus, but he's really cool. I only know it, and I think he's really cool mostly because the first Omnixilus creature card was my first mythic that I ever drew, because I got into Magic around like the end of the Phyrexian like block, like New Phyrexia had just come out or whatever when I started to get into it, and it was very much like a toe dipping getting into it. Anyway, Omnixilus was the first mythic that I ever pulled, the landfall one from the original Zendikar block, and he's super cool. But yeah, he like the Omnixilus that came with the mono black pre-con commander deck. Yeah, we lose now. GG. Or rather, just G. Can you taste the salt? Can you taste how salty I am? Oh yeah, the original Omnixilus. He was a Planeswalker. Planeswalked to Zendikar. Went to go get the Chain Veil for Liliana and lost his Planeswalker Spark and turned into a big demon because he got cursed. He used to be just a human. And then Nerp. He keeps calling me Nerp. It's Nerp. That's the screen name, at least. And yeah, Liliana cursed him, and then he turned into that big demony thing and lost his Planeswalker Spark. And then after that, I'm not sure how, but his Spark reignites in the next Zendikar set, and he becomes Omnixilus Reignited, and that's what he's called that. He becomes Omnixilus Unshackled, which I think he means he breaks like the curse on him or something from Liliana, and then he becomes Omnixilus Reignited. I don't know if he like kills a Planeswalker that travels to Zendikar and steals their Spark or what, because none of the like major Planeswalkers died to Omnixilus or anything like that, or lost their Spark to him. So, because the kind of the noteworthy Planeswalkers that were on Zendikar, like a bunch of the Gatewatch guys essentially were there at some point, but Giora, I think, is from Zendikar. There's the other Ob. The original Ob. You can see like his armor is the same as this guy's armor and actual chest piece, because like he was originally cursed in his armor and then turned into the demon. And his helm and everything too. Anyway, yeah. Who is not Akiri? Who's the core? Nahiri is from Zendikar. Ugin and Soren have been on Zendikar, but they're not from it. Soren's from Innistrad. Ugin's from Tarkir, I believe. Actually, I don't know where Ugin's from. He resides on Tarkir a lot, or was residing on Tarkir, trapped in the Hedrons there, or dead rather. It's confusing. It's complicated, timey-wimey stuff. Anyway, I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm kind of tempted to not block the assassins, just so that the poker playing Jedi guy would just die easier. I don't know. I guess he's just playing Commander in the way that makes it fun for him, and like it's part of the politics of the game, right? As stuff like this happens and people make objective choices based on how they want to play the game, which is their right, but it can be a little frustrating when things go like that. Because the guy, if you were paying attention to the chat earlier, and this guy literally just heroes down followed my Kraum for the sake of being funny. That was the only reason he did it to me, was because he thought it'd be funny. So, which, I mean, again, he's allowed. It's just frustrating. So yeah, he's very, very heavily playing the Planeswalker deck for sure. Doubling season, gross. This is like the ultimate card in the Planeswalker deck. Because now he plays a Planeswalker, and just about every Planeswalker can ultimate. Because they enter with double their loyalty counters. So you could essentially just ult them right off the bat, and a lot of them don't even die, because a lot of the time their starting loyalty is like slightly higher than half of what it would take to use their final. So like 5. So he'd enter with 10, he'd be able to -8 right away, which would give him target opponent gains an end with whenever a player draws a card, he loses 2 life, which isn't terribly strong, but it would burn this guy out super fast because he's trying to draw cards. Most of the damage he's taken has just been him like bleeding himself out with abilities and effects, but it's kind of Ugin. Yeah, he Ugin'd the Maxilis. Oh, that's 1 or more colors. Yeah, see, so he got his Narset back, and he just got to cast or activate Narset's ability instantly, right? So now this guy can't cast non-creature spells. And then he just blew up Dark Confidant with Maxilis. So, I mean, this guy's just gonna keep proliferating and keep the cycle going. The Super Friend strategy works really well because it's kind of inconspicuous at the start. As you try to kill the Planeswalkers, the owner of the Planeswalkers doesn't take any damage. They act as meat shields essentially, right? And at the same time, once you have a few of them out, they're really, really controlling. Like they add a lot of control elements because a lot of them have removal, and a lot of them spawn tokens, and a lot of them draw you cards, and they are just regular value engines essentially. There's some of them are definitely more like tuned for like a specific style of deck, but a lot of them aren't, and just function strongly on their own. Yeah, he's just going for broken attacking. He knows he's dead. So, well, that's the way she goes sometimes. Still a little salty, but I'm getting over it. I'll be fine. I'll live. Makes for a good recording. I hope those watching think it was funny and not just annoying. But let me know how you feel. Yep, so he's gonna draw a card. What's this? A Johnny's ability. Put 5 1/1 counters on each creature and 5 of those counters on each planeswalker control. Yeah, cool. I have this Ajani in paper. I just stowed away in some deck or something like that. We don't talk about that, Ajani. Not that he isn't good, which He's kind of new, but kind of expensive, so he doesn't see a ton of play outside of Commander. And just because he's new, he hasn't been slotted into a lot of Commander decks. I mean, relatively new. Who's excited for Explorers of Ixalan? Or Rivals of Ixalan, or whatever the next Ixalan set is. It's not Explorers. Sorry, Explorers is the first one. I'm really excited for the story part. I read the first story element, and it was really cool because Jace gets his head all messed up like twice. So, and I was pumped because I called to my friends and brother and rest of my paper group that Angrath would be showing up as a card because he's in the story initially. Angrath is like a Minotaur dude that's trapped on Ixalan, and then they spoiled him for the Planeswalker deck, so I'm sure there'll be a regular version of him as well. He's really cool though. He's a I also called that his colors would be Rakdos, and he is Rakdos, which made me pumped. But he's a pirate, and he's like a burning Minotaur, so like fire wells up from within him, and he's got like a burning chain that he uses. He's pretty cool. What I'm curious about though is because the Planeswalker decks, one of the spoiled cards is called Vraska's Conquistador. Actually, I'll just show you guys right now while they're playing. This one. And so I'm curious why, because Vraska has fought a couple times now with vampires. So I'm curious why they've joined forces, but I'm feeling like there's going to be a big shift in power as things happen, because essentially like the final the end point of the story and like the big hook for it. Oh, this guy's just dumping Planeswalkers. The big hook for it at the end of the first Ixalan story chunk was that all the different factions essentially and all the groups of people looking for the like lost city all find it at once, and Jace has amnesia while he's on Ixalan and is working with Vraska, even though if Jace had originally known who they are, they wouldn't have worked together, and Vraska hated him, and they had like a little romance thing as Jace had amnesia and couldn't remember who he was or what he could do. He slowly remembers what he can do, or rather finds out again, but he kind of changes his character a little bit in that he's a lot more, I guess, independent and a lot more thankful and a lot less condescending. But then as as they find the city, it's actually like mostly hidden underground, so all the like geography in the area like shifts and changes, and Jace like falls off a waterfall essentially before Vraska can grab him and smacks his head on the bottom, and then as that's happening, all of his like old memories start like pouring out and coming back and stuff like that, and he's like basically mentally disabling everybody in the area because they can feel his memories in their head because he can't control it, and he's starting to remember that he's like the living guild pack and stuff like that. So it's also going to get complicated because Vraska is working for Nicol Bolas, so to retrieve the immortal sun, which is said to be hidden in the city. This thing, which is the reason that nobody can planeswalk off of Ixalan. And FYI, in case you didn't know that, for whatever reason, nobody can planeswalk off of Ixalan. Yes. I didn't type a third period for the proper ellipses. I failed. So this guy's a contagion engine and a bajillion vampires and a whole bunch of stuff. Am I gonna have Dr. Whiskers strike down poker playing Jedi in my name? Is that what's gonna happen here? He's got a Captain Sisay and a Spike Weaver and stuff like that. So this is definitely the Planeswalker deck, in case that wasn't obvious by now. He's got the Tameo emblem. He's got the Teferi emblem, the Narset emblem. A very good land base. So this guy clearly is not a stranger to spending money on decks. Because he's done a lot. I don't know why he doesn't just like end the game though. I got him right where I want him. Yeah, you know, you're playing your game and you're having fun with it, and that's fine. You do as you like, guy. I'll seed you. He's kind of just playing the suicide deck. He's done most of the damage he's taken has been from his own cards. So it's the Commander Death Shadow deck. That's the card he has Death Shadow in his hand. He's just waiting. It's relevant now, and he can play it still. This only stops him from playing non-creature spells. There's another Sorin. Yeah, now because of the new legendary Planeswalker text or Oracle text or whatever, now he can have multiple Sorins. As long as they are different. And in Commander, I mean, you wouldn't really have two of the exact same Planeswalker anyway, unless you had some weird clever impersonator or like clone stuff going on. Yeah, Deep Glow Skite, you're going to double up all your Planeswalkers and have 11 bajillion mana. And then you can proliferate a whole bunch of times. Okay, I'm gonna call this recording here because this guy's just kind of playing solitaire at this point, and he's just gonna keep doing this because he can just play everything from his hand for free with Tamio's Emblem, and then it's gonna proliferate everything a bunch of times. Whatever. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it. Comment based on how you think these other guys played and how you thought that went, I guess. Do you agree with how these other guys played? Do you disagree with how those guys played? Do you think my saltiness is unjustified? Did you just think it was funny? Comment if you want to see which kind of decks you want to see me play in the future. Tell me which of those two kind of infect style decks you want to see, or how you just think about them. How if you really don't want me to play them, or you really think they're kind of a bad idea, please let me know why. I'm curious to know your opinion on it. And check out my channel if you want to see more videos, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.